What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Stellar Lumens today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are on this, the 13th day of June, sitting at about 26 cents, just below there. 6 hours, 28 minutes left in the day here. Looking like we're consolidating still outside of this breakout, right? We've broken out of our downtrend, our long downtrend, along slowly down from November, late November, down to April 6th, April 5th, whatever that day is, April 7th, that low is at right there, April 7th it is. Broken out, we're consolidating, we're just waiting, and soon you will see an eruptive move that will literally take you all the way up to these highs. I really wouldn't be surprised at all, sitting here at 26 cents, if we saw a price that was above 50 cents, even at new all-time highs, by the end of this month, man. Like, it's going to happen very, very fast. And if we're not there by the end of the month, very early June we will be, right? But certainly going into the end of the month, I expect that we will see some dramatic price action to the upside. And I don't believe that we have too much lower to go, right? I mean, it's possible. We could go lower, but if we go lower, it's not going to be too significant, right? I don't think that we're going to see anything too dramatic from here happen. I wonder if we do, though. I do wonder if we go lower. Looking at the daily RSI, I have to say, looking at it, kind of makes me think that we would want to go lower. Maybe even lower than this low. Let's look at the fibs here. Low to high. Low to high right there. At the 0.5, yeah. Maybe go to the golden ratio. The lowest that I'd give you, you're at 26 cents now. The lowest I'd give you is probably not even below 24 cents. Or if you like not even below really like 23.5 cents, right? That's not too far away. And it might happen. It might happen over the coming days or early next week. It could happen. But I think that you're closer to a low, if not even at your low here and ready to bounce, than you are to going lower than this low, right? I think that you're really about to turn things around and see some phenomenal recovery. If we're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame here does look bearish, rejecting the 50, getting higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price. That is hidden bearish divergence. This does look like a bear flag in my opinion, right? Moving down like this, bear flagging out. It's very possible that we continue down. And again, if we were to continue down right there, 24.5 cents or so, 23.5 cents, that is that golden ratio zone where we would likely find support, and that would be the low. You'd probably continue moving down with lower levels of volume, right? You'd see something like this with dramatically lesser volume, and that would signal that the selling pressure is weakening, is weaning, and the bulls will step in and likely provide this as a low and then continue building higher, right? That's the expectation here. But looking at this, I really wouldn't be surprised if we went a little bit lower, something that is lower than this low. You'll get a higher low in the lower low in the price, higher low in the RSI. Bullish divergence will take shape, and then you'll rip from there. You'll start moving up, right? That's the expectation. If we look at this on a 4 hour time frame, 4 hour RSI, very oversold. Definitely looking bearish, right? Definitely looking, but you're getting more oversold than you are getting overbought. Oversold to the overbought zone, oversold to the overbought zone, oversold deeper than you got overbought. Definitely volatile over the past few days, over the past week, but again, I don't think that this means that you're going to zero right now. I think this just means that you have a little bit more to go, and then you'll recover. You'll resolve this very, very soon. Looking at this from a low to a high, let's see if we can find anything that agrees with that, like 24.5 to 23.5 cent area. 24.5, 23.5 cents there. The 1272 to the 1618 is the primary extension zone. This is where I would expect you to find support somewhere in this area here. That's what we're going to do. And likely looking at this, I mean, we'll probably make strides down there over the weekend, but probably very early next week we'll be down there. The fact that Stellar Lumens looks like it wants to do that makes me a little bit concerned on some of my low calls that I've had for today. I've been calling for the low on a various few amount of cryptos, but it is possible for all of them to see slightly lower lows. And if we see that, that's okay. Bitcoin's moving down a little bit, right? It was at like 105.8. We were like green for a second there today, and now we're pulling back down, but there's still a lot of time left in the day. We'll see how it recovers. Nothing's guaranteed. If you're anticipating, like I am, that Stellar will go below 25 cents, we'll see 24.5 or 23 cents somewhere in that area. If you're anticipating that, don't count on it, right? It's not guaranteed. We very well could have found the low already, and we could be moving up, but everything that I'm seeing suggests that we'd go a little bit lower. And it's fine if we do. It's really not a big deal if we do. Inevitably, Stellar, you're going to do some growth in a very, very short amount of time, and I think that we will see new all-time highs before the end of, maybe not by the end of, I said new all-time highs by the end of June. I meant above this. Maybe we're not at new all-time highs by the end of June, but something around the top here by the end of June, if not above that. But I think we will see new all-time highs going into the month of July. Yeah. We're in this consolidation range, this massive, what I would call a ascending triangle, right? Not what I would call, what they call, what technical analysts call all over the world. It's not just me. I'm not exclusive, right? a ascending triangle. It's a very massive bullish pattern that's been forming since January of 2018, right? Here we are years later, cycles later, multiple bull cycles, multiple bear cycles later, ready to break out of this. I can only imagine what kind of fantastic growth is going to happen once we do that. I'm going to take the low to the high, or the high to low here. We're going to overlay that with last cycle's high to low as well, high to low here. We're going to see what makes sense. What makes sense to me is that if you've been consolidating for years, for multiple cycles, in what looks to be a bullish phase of accumulation, if you're consolidating in this, I would assume when you break out, you're going to see a fantastic move. Probably something that is bigger than anything you saw within the consolidation range, right? You break out, you're going to see something larger than any move you saw in the consolidation phase. And that even implies this one too, right? 469% in a month. I'm not saying next month is going to be 469% to the upside. Maybe it is. Maybe it's more. But I think that between now and the end of July, we should see some stupendous growth. And going into the end of the year, especially going into the end of the cycle, we'll definitely see more growth than what we saw in that month of November. Looking at this here, on that notion, I almost forgot the main thought I was trying to convey here, is that I doubt we're going to stop right above this high. When we break out and we move up to new all-time highs, I doubt we're going to stop right there. It's been multiple cycles. This thing's going to rip and run. It's going to get away from this area whenever it breaks out. It's not just going to, didn't spend all this time to consolidate just to break out barely above it. You're going to go well above it, right? And the minimum target based on this high to low would be $2.46. It's very possible that you stop here. It's possible that you go higher, but I think something around, like $2.20, $2.46, that sounds about right to me. That's a very good bit of extension, right? Or that's a very good bit of growth in the fib extensions here. If we're looking at this from a high to low, even recently speaking, our 1886200 level, which a lot of cryptos, I know I have a lot going on here, but a lot of cryptos are looking to target these areas. The 1886200, that's at $1.80 to $2.05, something around $2, if not above $2. And I do think XLM will be above $2 by the end of July. I'm thinking around 246, but somewhere, if you're not above $2, man, you're going to be just below there, right? You're at 26 cents now. That's not a 10x move, but it is greater than a 5x move. I think the average crypto, the expectation is to see something on the lines of like a 4x move, 3x move, something like that, right? Maybe a 5x move by the end of July. But for Stellar, I would think you're going to see something on the lines of like an 8x to potentially a 9.5x move. Yeah, something in that kind of area there. Moving up to, if I really had to give it a range, I'd say between about like 220 and 250. You're at 226 cents right now. Yeah. Afterwards, after you make that move, after that endeavor completes itself, you'll probably consolidate going into the end of July and going into maybe the end of August even. You'll begin to consolidate. I would expect that when we make this move, we probably pull back down to 93 cents, maybe even $1, something like this. And then going into the end of the year, sometime at the end of August or early September, that'll be when we start to make our final onslaught to the upside, stopping this year at the very end of the year. And the way I have it drawn, it'd be like all the way out in 2027, but that's not the timing I think it's going to happen. I'm just on the monthly time frame, so I'm not going to condense it, right? But just the path higher, ignoring the time frame here, I think will take us anywhere from about 846 at a minimum. $22, is that where we're going to go? Let's look at the last cycle's high. Hold on, let's see. I don't know. Yeah, man. $8.50 at a minimum. That's my expectation by the end of the cycle. You're at 26 cents now. Potentially as high as $40, most likely somewhere around $20 and even just above there. So, man, is that right? No. No way. Hold on. I was like 100x for XLM. No way. Let me see. I mean, that puts you at just under $1 trillion. I could see it happening. I could see. Okay, so yeah, that's fair, right? Minimum target 846, maximum target just under $1 trillion. Yeah, several hundreds of billions of dollars, like over 500 billion, but under 800 billion. Yeah, I could see that happening actually. So, in all fairness, yeah, $22 I think is a fair target. You're at 26 cents right now. That's not quite a 100x. What is that from the current price? It's like an 83x, yeah. I think that's your maximum potential, okay? I don't think that you'll see $1 trillion market cap or more, but I could see you getting deep into the multi-hundred billions of dollars. Something above 1750 is very possible. I like that, $10 area too, psychological resistance. The average expectation for the average coin is a 25x, so I would at least expect, a 32x sounds about right. $8.50, something around there at the minimum, $22 at the maximum. We'll probably know better once we've got our resolution of this next move up by the end of July, or maybe even going into August. I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, man, I know it's been boring. I know it's been a rough 3 months of just getting excited, getting your hopes up, getting discouraged, getting your hopes down. And now this month we've been pretty boring throughout the month, not really moving anywhere. But soon enough, probably starting next week, if not the following week, you're going to see some fireworks fly. And going into July, we should be seeing new all-time highs. All right, that's all I got. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.